Welcome to Diamonds and Doxies. My name is Leanne, and today I'm coming to you with a WIP and chat. I am determined to get this canvas done by the end of the month. I need it to be done so I can have a finish. So it's just a own little pressure I put on myself. So anyway, yeah. So today I keep my bottles in my ARTDOT large storage containers, the drawer system. I really like it. It's got a little handle here. I've got exciting news on that, which I will share here in a little bit. Then I've got my pen that I've been using for this kit, and this is from Enabler's Outpost, and it has a single tip and a eight placer tip, both from Diamond Art Club. I love them. Let's see, the wax that I am using is Ocean Breeze from Joy's Putty. She sells on Facebook. So I will link her group down below. All you do is you send her a message, and then, yeah, she invoices you, you pay it, and bam, she ships it out. So anyway, that's the one I'm using. I've got my tweezers that came with the kit from Francesca Studio Works, which I love her tweezers, as you know. Then I'm using the same Yellow Dog Designs tray, the XL version 4. You can see that beautiful starburst. This is one of my favorite trays. I tend to keep the same pen and trays and everything while I'm working on a kit. It just works well for me. I don't change out purses either. So anyway, the release paper that I'm using is from, let's see here. Oh, now I know I had it. Hang on. Here it is. They're from Crafts with Crashly, and it's called Summer Meadow. And they're all a little different, and I just love them. Love, love, love them. So anyway, well, I guess I should tell you, I'm sure you already know, but in case you don't, Francesca Studio Works is where I purchased the kit. The artist is Hava Gurovich, and the name of the kit is Gaia. Absolutely love Francesca's. I rave about her all the time. She has really good quality, and I really like it. So anyway, if you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm so glad we found each other. I hope you'll consider subscribing. If you're not already, don't forget to turn on the notification bell if you ever want to be notified of when I do put up a new video. Yeah, so, and of course, you know, if you get to the end of this video and you think, well, I really, you know, I liked it, give it a thumbs up. I usually give a thumbs up on my way in so I don't forget, but, you know, I'll take it whenever you can give it. So anyway, boy, y'all, it has been some busyness going on with me. Some happy busyness, though. It's all good. So I guess I'll start with the first thing that was very exciting is I think I told y'all before that ARTDOT had reached out to me. And so I was like, okay, you know, I use their product, so why wouldn't I be an affiliate, right? And it's not like it's something I don't like. So I was like, of course, I would love to. So, you know, they're like, well, we want to send you some product. And I'm like, okay, unless it's the four drawer storage system, you know, hope it's not that, because I've got so much storage, but I still want that particular one though. And I may get it now because now I have an actual affiliate link that I can share with you. And just by clicking on that link, you're going to save 10%. You can also put in my code and save 10%. My code is my name, Leanne, Leeann, no spaces. So yeah, so that's very exciting. But I found out what they're going to send me is a diamond painting kit. And that, to tell you I'm excited about that, I really am. It's a sunflower one, and I don't know how big it's going to be or anything like that. But I have been wanting to test out their diamond paintings because, you know, I love their storage. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And of course, I will unbox it. I will work on it, and I will definitely give a finish and review, and it will be an honest finish and review. They're not paying me to say all the good things, you know. I mean, in fact, all they said was share. And I was like, I can do that because I'm going to share anyways. So, yeah. So I'm pretty excited about that. As far as my other exciting news, if you haven't looked at my community tab, y'all, I'm going to be live on Ditsy's Diamond Den with her and Mr. Helper, or Dear Helper, not Mr. Helper, Dear Helper. And boy, I'm in, you know, at first I was like, oh, you're kidding. You want me to be on your live? Oh, what an honor. And oh, how exciting. And the very next breath, how terrifying. So, you know, I had been saying mostly to myself, you know, I'll go live when I get 250 subscribers. Well, y'all, I really thought I would be at least a year getting 250 subscribers. And at the time of filming this, I have 257, which is pretty awesome. And I was like, oh dear, you know. So another thing I had said I was going to do, again, I don't know if I mentioned it to y'all, but it was to myself, that I was going to start a YouTube channel. But I don't know why, but for some reason in my head, I had 250 being the magic number. So now I got to figure out, I don't know. I'd like to do a small giveaway for 250. Yeah. So I don't know how that's going to look. I mean, I'm like, oh, now I've got to figure out the name picker or whatever, the generator to do that, because you know, how other people do it, I see, but I don't know how they do it. So if I can't figure it out, though, I will ask Ditsy, and she will be able to tell me, because she is just taken off like a rocket. And if you haven't checked out her channel, I don't know why, because it's an amazing channel. They are so funny. You will literally laugh out loud. I do. Yeah. You can go back and watch some of her replays too on her lives. So if you can't be there for live, it's going to be on Tuesday, July 30th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. and totally past my bedtime, Central Time. So I guess that makes it 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right? I think so. So, and outside of that, I don't know any other time zones. But I think it's really late for Mia in Denmark, so I don't really expect her to stay up, but she can watch it on the replay. That's always appreciated too. So anyway, I am scared. You know, it's one thing, I can sit here and talk to y'all like this because the camera's not facing me. You know, I feel like I'm just talking to myself, really. But it's going to be different being able to see myself on the screen in real time. So I hope I don't, you know, get on there and go, what's your name? You know, I don't know my name. So hopefully I won't do that. Let's see. And then another exciting announcement happened just a little bit ago, actually. You know, my best friend and I, Max, we have been wanting to, we live right next door to each other, and we decided we were going to not get married, but live together. And so combine our households. So, you know, we've been kind of halfway looking, because we had to get, you know, documents drawn up by attorneys and stuff. And, well, last Saturday, I think, I found this house that's close by. It's a smaller lot than I wanted, but it's an acre, so that's, you know, plenty big, and it's so wooded, y'all. It is so wooded that grass is having a hard time growing, which, you know, we're going to have to alleviate that somehow because, well, between us, we have 3 dogs. 2 of them are mine. So, but, you know, they may just be dirty dogs. I don't know. They already get dirty here. But anyway, so we drove by it, and it was like, wow, you know, we loved the location. Absolutely loved the location. So, you know, unlike some of the other ones we were looking at, this one has all the city services. So, you know, we're not on a well. We have, you know, natural gas from the city and city water. Not that I would mind having a sewer system, I mean a septic tank and propane and you know, all of that. I really don't have a problem with that. But, or even a well. I don't mind a well either. But it is convenient to, you know, not have to have someone come fill up your propane tank or service your septic system or, you know, all that good stuff, you know, or your water pump for your well, because, you know, if that quits working, then you've got no water. So, yeah. So the problem is we went and looked at the inside today, and, you know, we were actually ready to pay exactly what they were asking. But we walked in, and, you know, pictures and what you actually see when you, with your own eyes, are 2 different things. And this house is built in 1995. And so much of it is original. And, you know, it needs some updating badly. You know, it's got one of those big... It's not a, I don't think it's a Viking or a Thor or any of those, but it's like that, you know. I don't even think it's a KitchenAid. It kind of looks like one that they might have gotten from Costco, but I don't know. But I mean, they're still like, you know, $2,500 even from Costco. So it's got 6 burners, a griddle, and then 2 ovens. But let me tell you, people have been using it. It's definitely... Yeah, it's definitely been used. So, and it has a Sub-Zero fridge, which, again, love, love, love. But it's not new. I mean, it is not new. So I'm guessing those might have been put in somewhere, you know, when these people bought the house in 2007, maybe they put it in. But, yeah. So, I mean, that's 17 years old. I don't know that, but that's what it looks like. And there's no built-in microwave. So I don't, they painted the cabinets white. I'm certain that they were wood before, like that oak. And so I don't blame them. They painted it. I would have done the same. But the counters are still the original counters. And that's when they did Formica with a wood trim. So, yeah, that's got to go. And then the backsplash is like tiles with decals on them or something. So it's like, okay, you know, that the kitchen needs to be updated. Cabinetry's fine. You know, we can paint it to make it look different or whatever. It's white. I know so many people now are into white. You know, that's... They like all their walls white, and a lot of people do, and that's fine. I am not one of those people, though. I am more about warmth, coziness and warmth. And, yeah, so probably would end up repainting the cabinets. Definitely go with granite or quartz or something for the countertops. But another thing is... It has 2 living rooms. It has a den, and it has a formal living room. They're both the same size. They both have a fireplace in them. So, you know, again, I think that's another thing that's outdated is having a formal living room. I would still want a formal dining room just because, I do like to have the kids over and, family over for Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that stuff. So I would like that, but not the formal living. So I'm not real sure what we're going to do with that. And it's like it's too big to turn it into a study. But I think we could maybe get it into being a study and then, having, I don't know, putting some living room furniture in. I don't know. I don't know. I wish it was just one big room, but I don't even think you can do that now because there's, like I said, there's a fireplace in the middle of the formal living room. So, because I was like, well, maybe we can, add walls and split it up. Well, it's like, how would you split it up? Because, again, I don't know. It's not a deal breaker for sure. It's just something we'll have to figure out. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I'd have to talk to I don't know, someone who does remodels and find out what we can do. Because I'm sure there's a way that we could keep the formal living room, but just make it very small, just a couple of chairs. Maybe even like a little reading nook. That would be nice too. And somehow get a study in there because, I have a desk that I use. It's got filing cabinets in it, and it's from Pottery Barn, so it's decent stuff. So we could put that in there for sure. But yeah. So we have made an offer, and for quite a bit less than what they're asking. Now, because of so many updates, so many updates. But I will say this, the location is the winner there. I mean, it's very, you're like in the heart. It's a tiny town. Don't get me wrong. It's not some gigantic city, but it's a small town, but you're right in the heart of it, and you'd never know it because you are so secluded. I mean, all the lots over there's not that many homes, and all of them are super tree lined. And then what backs up to the house is the Catholic Church. So, not a road, that's been a Catholic church as long as I've been around Friendswood, and that's been, since 86. So it's been a while, right? So I'm hopeful. We put in a bid. I hope it doesn't offend them. We'll see what they come back with. But yeah. But that also means then that I need to sell my house. And y'all, I purged before I moved here, right? I mean, I purged a lot. But that was also before I discovered diamond painting. So I have one of the bedrooms I use as a spare or storage. So it's just got shelves. Y'all, because I just don't go in the attic. My son will go up there for me. So I try to keep most of my Christmas decorations and all that are on shelves. I don't have a very big pantry, so I store excess canned goods and waters and drinks and, paper towels, all that stuff I keep in there. But also a large part of it are my diamond paintings. They take up a lot of room. I mean, one full shelf is just of diamond paintings. So I'm going to have to get some totes, and I'm going to need to box them up in some totes and then take them. I need to get a storage unit so I can put them in storage. It's going to be a lot of work. I need to clean because I am my own housekeeper. So I need to clean. But, you know, when you live by yourself, it's like, I can do it later. Pretty much my time is given to diamond paintings. So this weekend, I really need to focus on getting some cleaning done, getting some storage totes to put my boxed diamond paintings in. But I need to pull out, you know, the ones for the next couple of months, you know, or at least have them accessible in the storage unit so that I can easily get them. Because, yeah. And then I also have 2 desks, as I've mentioned before. I have one in my bedroom and one in the study. Well, yeah. So I need to rearrange some stuff because, why did I do that? I only needed 1. I only needed 1, no, 2. Okay, I needed 2. Why on earth did I get all of these out? Let me make sure that's all I needed. So anyway, I've got to get rid of a lot of stuff. I got to get it out of here, let's put it that way, because, you know, when you go to show your house, you don't want it to be cluttered. And this study is cluttered. I mean, I've got 2 desks in here and a hutch, a double hutch with storing cabinets on both of them, or filing cabinets, I should say. So, yeah, I need to, I need to pack it up. Oh, and my printer's in here, and it's on a TV stand. I mean, it's too much. But that storage room, or actually it's the extra bedroom. That needs to be done so people can see, you know, that it actually is a bedroom, because it is a 3-bedroom house. So, but yeah, and I also have a lot of completed diamond paintings that I need to pack away. I mean, I just got to get rid of some of the clutter is all. So I will do that. At least I'll get an idea, and then I think I'll maybe Monday meet with some movers or something and find out, you know, how much they would charge me. Well, first I have to get a storage unit and then get some movers to see what it would take. Oh, well, at least I saw it before I put them up, I suppose. But I always see these. I mean, I look really good, or so I think. I'm like, nope, that's all of them. Nope, it's not. I don't know why I don't see them till the last minute. But usually I get them put away before I go, oh, well, darn. But that's okay. So anyway, yeah, so that's some exciting news, right? I'm pretty excited. And all of it happened within 24 hours. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked, y'all. Pretty stoked. I like that. I've gotten some more subscribers. That makes me happy. Not that I'm in it to get subscribers, mind you, but to me it says, oh, well, I liked you enough, you know, to subscribe. And yeah, how could that make anyone not feel good? It makes me feel good for sure. Oh, another thing, I forgot. I started a Facebook group. Yes, I did. I started a Facebook group. So it's Diamonds and Doxies on Facebook. I will be sure to link it down below so that you can find it if I can remember how to do it. I think I do. It took me forever last night to figure out how to do it. And I did put the link on my community tab, I think. Yeah, I think I did. So if you go look at the community tab, it should be there. But I will put it at the end of this video as well, if you would like to be a part. It's like an extension of this, you know. It's just an extension of the Facebook group. I mean, the YouTube community. We can have more interaction there, which I think is going to be good, you know. I mean, so far I have found everybody that has commented on my videos. Oh, where did you go? It's been just so friendly. So I expect the same over there. Yeah, I mean, that's really the only requirement is you got to be nice and respectful. I mean, I don't have a problem with, you know, this kit didn't work for me, you know, but I would say try to refrain from phrases of this sucked, this was garbage, this was trash, because, you know, try to say this was a hard kit to work on for me because, you know, and give a legitimate reason, because, you know, there are people, believe it or not, who either don't mind or prefer gapping because it's easier for them to place drills. So if I go in and I don't like gapping and I say, oh, well, this sucks, you know, well, why? Because you may think, oh, well, in that case, I'm going to try them out. And I, you know, really don't want to be like the venting group, you know, everybody come here and vent your frustrations on whatever company. No, I mean, I want all companies to succeed, big and small. I mean, yes, I love the small shops, but, you know, the big shops employ a lot of people. So without them, those people would be without a job. So I support them as well. So anyway, I am going to have to stop for just a second, but I will be back. So don't go anywhere because we are going to finish this section on this video. So don't go anywhere. Hi everyone, I'm back. Sorry about that. I hope I have the camera angle right. Anyway, it's been about an hour. I had to go get my hair washed. Well, I didn't have to go get my hair washed, but Max was going to get a haircut, and he uses the same lady I do. But I get a haircut now maybe once every 6 months, and I don't color it anymore, so I'm not going in all the time. And so anyway, she washed my hair. We chatted, we caught up, and it's just such a treat when I let someone else wash and blow dry my hair, especially, you know, she knows what she's doing. And yeah, so that's good. So that was enjoyable. So anyway, yeah, in that time, though, we signed the offer. So it's being submitted to the homeowner. I hope the homeowner accepts. It turns out that her husband passed away. I think maybe recently, I don't know, which would explain then only the men's clothes were in the closet, and she probably moved out and was like, I can't with this. So anyway, I'm sure her kids will help her with that. So anyway, that's kind of sad. We had asked because it looked like there had been water damage in the garage. The ceiling was kind of peeling in one spot. And I thought maybe it was, you know, a water heater up there. Well, sure enough, that's what it was. And she said it happened the day she came home from the hospital after her husband had passed. And she didn't even know that there had been a leak, but family and friends just went ahead and changed out the water heater, and yeah, for her, which was really sweet. But you know, they did not repair the damage to the ceiling, and I don't think it's a big deal. Really, I don't. You know, it's not like the whole ceiling. So I don't think that that's going to be a big problem. I think it'll be an easy fix. But this house does need a lot of work. So we offered what we think would, because it needs a lot of work, a lot of updates and stuff, that, you know, it's a little bit less than what she was asking. So hopefully, you know, hopefully it's good for her and she'll accept it. We'll see. We'll see. So, but that doesn't change anything. I still, because we would be closing in 3 weeks. So I really need to get my house on the market, and it is not in anywhere near the shape that it needs to be in to be listed. So this weekend, probably tonight, I think you get your, your storage units. I think you can go online and get them. So I will see here in a little bit. There's a storage place not too far from me. So I will start figuring out what is causing clutter. I probably will definitely keep down to one diamond painting desk. And now I think that this one I'm at right now that's in my study is going to have to go, because I mean, it's in here and there's room for it, but it really makes the room look cluttered. The one in my bedroom does not. So I've got a big bedroom. So yeah, I think that's what's going to have to happen, which is fine. Which is fine. I'm trying to think of something. What is... Okay, it is this. Move down, drillies. So anyway, and then my son was texting, and his garage door, well, he's got here, is so stupid in my opinion, but your garage door is on the GFCI circuit. And so if that trips, then your garage door doesn't work. And we've got the GFCIs that they beep at you, which is, it's helpful, you know, if you have a refrigerator or something like that, then you go, oh, wait a minute, it's, you know, not, or, you know, that's out in the garage. Like I have a freezer out in the garage. But mine would trip a lot too, so I had the electrician come out and change it so it would not trip every time you turned around. So anyway, Jacob went and fixed his and, you know, pushed the button, the reset button and everything. And then his garage door got stuck in the up position and wouldn't come down. So he had to manually shut it, but I had to send him, he asked me who he should call. So I was like, well, here's who I used and loved them, and they came highly recommended from our neighborhood, so you'll probably like them too. So that's what he did. He's calling out an electrician. I don't know if they're going to be able to come today, though. I don't know. So, but he can shut and open his garage manually. It's no big deal. So, anyway, that's another thing we're going to have to do on this house is the garage door openers, or the garage doors, the openers are very dated, very dated. And I want the kind that's got the keypad on the outside so that, you know, you don't need to, you can get in by entering a code. I also want the one that's connected to Wi-Fi so that I can, you know, open it with my app. That's what I have here, and I like it. It works out really good. You know, if I have someone come into my house that, like the landscapers or something, and maybe they need to get into my garage to work on my sprinkler system, then I can just raise the garage and they can take care of that. So, and it's also helpful, you know, when the kids come over and because I had one of those door locks that, you know, it was all connected to the Wi-Fi and everything. Well, yeah, that quit working about a year after I installed it. And I haven't replaced it because that part of my house gets the west sun, and it is hotter than Hades in the summertime. I mean, just, you can feel my front door and it's hot. So it's like, you know, that I'm not gonna, I mean, they're not cheap, and I'm not gonna replace it every year. So remarkably, my Ring camera still works. My Ring doorbell still works. It's kind of, I don't know, it's got like smudges or something on it. I don't know. It won't come off. So, yeah, so the picture isn't always great, but it still works. So, yeah, that's good. And of course, I'll want to do another one at the new house. It doesn't have one. It has the old-timey, whatchamacallit, doorbell. I mean, it's just old-timey. So, I don't know. I should have even taken these out. I could have got my drill straight from the bottle. We also stopped at a place. It's a new place. It's an empanada restaurant. The lady used to sell them out of her house. You'd place an order and she would, you know, make them, and then, like, I don't know, once a week you could go by and pick up your order. And she opened up a storefront, so that was really cool. And I had a Cuban one, and it was so good. So good. It was pulled pork shoulder and ham and Swiss cheese. It was very good. Okay, am I down now to just ABs? I think so. Okay, that's awesome. So I really want to finish this section. Then I'll have 2 sections left. And I want to be done. It's going to suck not having this table in here, because I do like working here. I can see out the window, and so I can see, you know, people passing by. And that means I can also see my son, because he just lives around the corner. So he passes by in front of my house a lot. And at first, I would send them texts like, hey, I saw you. Hey, we're, you know, because when I first put this desk in here, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to have to quit doing that, because he's going to be like, what is wrong with you? Are you some kind of stalker, you know? I mean, I didn't want him to feel like, gee, Mom, you know? So I quit doing that. But I will miss that if we move, is, you know, seeing him pretty frequently. I mean, we don't see him every day. I mean, sometimes I just see his truck pass by, which is fine with me, because then I know he's fine. You know, he's good. But, yeah, I mean, I will miss being able to call him and say, son, can you come help me with whatever? Because he's like, sure, I'll be right over. So I'll miss that. I don't know. He will probably be like, thank goodness. Although I didn't know it, because we were looking at houses that were a good 30 minutes away. And this one is not. This one's maybe 15 minutes. And he said, I'm glad y'all are looking at a house that's close by. I didn't want y'all to move so far. And he does help us a lot. So he really does. And that would be a big ask. Because it's, you know, during traffic, it'd probably be a 40-minute drive to get down there. So this is better. This is better. So, you know, keeping my fingers crossed. You keep your fingers crossed too. If you pray, say a prayer that it'll work out if it's meant to. Now I see I'm not finished with the regular drills. I always like to do the ABs last, because they are my least favorite. And it helps to have your putty be a little dirty. Although this is that Joy's putty. So Oh, come on. What is going on? There must be something on that part. So let's move over here. Yeah, you know, she says that her putty is made for ABs. You know, it's tested on ABs. Yeah, I mean, I really haven't noticed much of a difference. Now, I assume that, you know, that means multi-placing, but I don't know. My glue dot works perfect, so I don't know. But I don't know that I see a big difference. Except, I will say, I do think that off the bat, it works better with ABs, whereas regular putty, you have to get it dirty a little bit. So, but it'll still stick to the drills, so I don't know. I don't know. And that is my final answer. I really haven't had it long enough to make a well-informed opinion, to be honest. So, okay. I have that. And then we will get back to our ABs. Well, let me get this one. This one's over here. Y'all. Man, we have had some rain. And some friends of mine, they live on the bayou, and, you know, they knew going in that the floods were going to be a problem. But they've already flooded 3 times. When I say flooded 3 times, I mean the bayou came in their house. Now, the downstairs is made for that, but still, I mean, they've had refrigerators down there, and, you know, none of that is covered by flood insurance, only the stuff that's elevated. But this is the 3rd time this year that the bayou has come around their house and into the street. So, yeah. Yeah. And of course, you know, then that brings up snakes. No. Rats fleeing, you know, the rising water. So, yeah. I don't think I would like that. I know I wouldn't like that. That's why we're always real careful, you know. When we look at a house, it's like before we even take this a step further, has this house ever flooded? God dang it. Max, where he grew up, his mother flooded. I mean, I think when they moved, when they had that house built, they bought the land and then had the house built, and it was awesome. I mean, it was like her dream home. It was done specifically to their specifications. And they said it's in the 500-year floodplain. 9 months it flooded. I think they had like 6 foot of water in the house. I mean, it backed up to a creek. But, you know, you're thinking, oh, it's like a 5-year floodplain. You know, no. Nope. And so the last time that it flooded, it was like they wouldn't even give her a permit. God, I miss all of these. A permit to rebuild. The only way she could rebuild would have been to elevate the house. Well, this was not your average house. This was a 2-story, and it was 6,500 square feet. So, yeah, you know, the amount to do that, not to mention the house is flooded, so it has to be fixed. Yeah, she was like, yeah, no. So, but in order to raise it would be real expensive. So she opted, FEMA, they offered a buyout, and she took it and moved, and she moved somewhere else that didn't flood. Wasn't her dream house, but, you know, she made it her own as best she could. I wouldn't say that she ever liked the house, but I do think she liked the fact that it didn't flood. So there's that. Oh, I'm So glad this was on because I was trying to pour it in here and that's the wrong one. I swear that was a close one, y'all, because I've done that. I've done that many times. Many, many, many times. More than I care to admit. So anyway, yeah, we had a storm blow in at about, I think it was around 3 a.m. Me and the pups were sound asleep. And I mean to tell you, there was a clap of thunder so loud, I jumped up and I screamed, you know, ah! The dogs jumped up. And of course, you know, Snoopy is deathly afraid of thunder. Gus is kind of a little bit. But this one, he was like, oh, hell no. And so he was like, Mama, we're going to spoon. I was like, okay, yes, we are, because I'm a little nervous too. Well, Snoopy, I was like, get under the covers, you know. He doesn't want to. He wants to be on top of the covers, I guess, because he's thinking, well, I need to see what's coming at me, you know. I don't know what he thinks he's going to do, but he paced back and forth on the bed, and then he tried to lay next to me, and then he'd get up again, and he was just scared. So, yeah, and we got, like, in I don't know, an hour or so, we got 3 inches of rain, y'all. That's a lot. There was parts around me that were flooded. You know, the roads were flooded. Of course, you know, the bayou flooded people's houses. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, crazy. And we have a creek that runs kind of close to us. And it was really high. I was like, well, okay. I mean, I've lived here, will be 5 years next month. And I'd never seen it that high. So, yeah. Wait a minute, that's 6. Come on, get off of there. So hopefully, I mean, I don't watch the weather because I don't watch the news, but hang on, I got a little putty on this one. Originally, Max said that, you know, the rain was going to be clearing out today and then be a nice weekend. Well, he said, nope, they've changed it. Now they're saying the weekend's going to be wet and next week will, you know, be nice. I was like, wow, okay. But our ground is so saturated. It's like we do not need any more rain. And which also concerns me with this house that we're looking at or, you know, put an offer on. It's got a lot of trees, y'all. A lot of trees, which I love. But there's one tree in particular that's leaning quite bad. And if it fell in the way that it's leaning, which would be the way it would fall, it would land on a corner of the roof. And so it's like, that's got to go ASAP. I mean, they really should do that now. You know. So, and we're hoping to be able to get flood insurance quickly. I think usually, you know, you have to wait 30 days. And I think unless the house has been insured or is insured currently. I think then you can just do a continuation of what they have. So, yeah, I am hopeful that they do, but she said she wasn't sure. She would have to check. So I get the impression that her husband did all this, you know, that he took care of all that stuff. I mean, I don't know how old they are, but they've had the homestead exemption frozen for a couple of years. So, yeah, I think that he was either, you know, elderly or disabled. I think over 65, they freeze their taxes will never go up again. So, I don't know. But it made me feel sorry for her, you know. It's like, I guess she just thought this house is too much for me. It's, you know. And maybe she's just like, I don't want to live there anymore, you know. Too many memories. I don't want to live there anymore. So, which I understand that too. I do. And I don't know how old she is. So, I mean, it's a 2-story. So, but I mean, it kind of looks like they started fixing up the house and then maybe, you know, something happened and then he ended up dying, and so they weren't able to complete the renovations because they had started changing out the floors, the wood floors, and they got all the wood floors done except for the formal living room. It has the original wood floors, which honestly I think are better floors because, you know, now it's mostly laminates and stuff. So I think in 1995 it was real wood. I mean, so you can sand it and restain it. So I don't know. I might just leave that there, and if we wanted to, get someone to come out and sand it and restain it to match the other. But I don't know. Definitely get the kitchen and, you know, redone. That would be a must. And so I will more than likely move in with Max, and we'll get the house, you know, to how we like it. It's got to have some fence work. I mean, that's got to happen before we can ever move in. But that way we're not living in it while it's being remodeled, because that's such a hassle, especially with dogs. So, yeah. So anyway, and then once we get it all done, then we can move in, and then Max can sell his house. I don't think we really want to put them on the market anyway at the same time, because they're right next door to each other, you know. So, I mean, we're different styles of houses, but by the same builder, just different models. His house is a little bit bigger than mine, so not by a lot, but by some. So it will definitely be tight. It's like, where in the heck am I going to put my dime? You know, it's like, I can't, well, I won't quit diamond painting. I mean, I just can't. Y'all. Yeah, I need it. I need it because I can be upset and I can go diamond paint, and especially if I turn on WIP and chat or something, and I just lose myself, you know. It's like I'm not thinking about my problems, not thinking about anything that's upsetting me. So it really is absolutely ideal for my mental health. So, yeah. So I'm not going to quit. I can tell you that much. But my goodness, I don't want to move. It's such a hassle. And, you know, it just burns me up because before I moved into this house, y'all, it was like, nope, getting rid of stuff. I got rid of so much stuff. And it's like, how did this happen? How did this happen? Well, what happened, I'll tell you what happened, is I had a spare bedroom with nothing in it. I mean, I didn't need two actual guest bedrooms. So one of them has a bed in it, which, you know, my son has used, like when he had his LASIK or whatever, he spent the night here so I could take care of him. And then one time he was sick, so he stayed here so I could take care of him. So that, you know, got to have one, right? But the other bedroom, it's like, oh, look, I have all this space now. I know. I'm going to use it as a storage room. So I started buying shelves. Oh, I could put more shelves. And I was like, oh, I can buy all this stuff. Well, of course, this was during the pandemic. So I was like, yes, I'm going to stock up on all, food and stuff. So I'm not having to go to the grocery store all the time. And so I'm going to stock up on these canned goods. And, yeah. Probably what I'm going to do on that is donate that to the Blessing Box. We have it's like a little mini food pantry just down the street. And I'll just start taking it down there because those shelves are going to have to come out so people can see that there's actually a room in there. But I also have a sewing machine, which I have never used, but I bought like 2 Black Fridays ago because it was such a good deal. How could I pass it up? Well, then you get the machine and it's like, well, I need a sewing table. So again, bought one of those. So now there it sits on a table. And again, I looked up some YouTube videos on it. This one lady has, I guess that's what she does, is teach you about sewing machines. And so this particular model, so I follow her channel, but, I watched maybe one video. I was like, yeah, well, when I go to need it, I'll watch it. I think I'm afraid that, it's really not designed for quilting. You could, but this sewing machine was like, I don't know, less than $200. And so it's a Singer. So I don't know. I don't know. Part of me is like, just get rid of it, Just get rid of it. But then I think, well, what if I end up needing it? Well, there's people who do sewing for a living. So, yeah, I don't know. I am leaning towards getting rid of it, though. Where did that extra one go? I heard it fall, but I don't see it. Oh, you're crooked. But yeah, part of me is like, oh, if you start quilting, because, you want to talk about an addiction. Yes, diamond painting is an addiction. I will absolutely say that. But you talk about having a stash. I was going to fabric stores at least once a week, sometimes more than that. And I still, to this day, I can be shopping and there's a blanket or a shirt or anything and I have to feel it. I'm like, feel the feels. And I would just see fabric that I liked and be like, I got to have this. Well, how much do you need? Give me a yard. Well, you really can't make a whole lot out of a yard. And so then I had quite the stash. In fact, my stash was so big that the shelves in my closet collapsed from the weight of my stash of fabric. And then I swear it was like, okay, I want to make something. Well, you don't have anything that matches to make anything. So guess what? You got to go buy some more stuff. But every time there was batting on sale, I'd buy a couple, yeah. There's another addiction right there. And then, of course, I need these feet and those feet. And, my sewing machine was like 10 grand. It was not cheap, and I had to go take classes on it. But it also did embroidery. So, that was something I've toyed around a little bit with, but my main thing was quilting. Although I would put a little motif or something on a quilt square just to give it a little oomph. I did a table runner for Halloween that I put some little pumpkins on. They were cute. So, and I still have, most of the things that I made with someone in mind, and I gifted it. And I never, ever charged. In fact, I had people ask me, well, if I pay you, will you make this? And I'm like, no, because then it becomes a job, I can make one for you, but I don't want you to pay me, even though material back then, I mean, it was like about $10 a yard. So, I mean, if you're making like a king-size quilt, yeah, it's a lot of yards. But mostly I made, quilts like well, no, they're bigger than lap quilts. But, yeah, I really enjoyed that. And I still have a couple. My son, Jacob, I'm pretty sure he still has, well, I know he still has his. I don't know if Max has his. I don't know. But Max has said, I wish you'd make me a quilt. I'm like, how about this one? I already made it. And that's another thing. I love, love, love doing flannel rag quilts. Flannel's not cheap, y'all. Not cheap. And that's another thing I'd buy. They would have, I'd look through the fat quarters. Oh, I like this. So I'd get that fat quarter. What are you going to do with it? I have no idea. And then they had the small squares, the pre-cut small squares, and then the 10-inch squares. And so, yeah. I'd buy a pack. And again, it's like, you could do something with those. I mean, you could make a small quilt, but without a backing. So you'd still need to put, some backing fabric that matched. And, yeah, so. But I had so many of those. I could have opened up a fabric store. That's how much I had. That is how much I had. I tell you. Yep. I wish I hadn't gotten rid of all that stuff. I was going through a really rough patch in my life, and I was just like, get out of here. I don't want to see you anymore. So the only thing I have left from that is the chair I'm sitting in now, because it is a comfortable chair. And when I thought I needed one of those, was it Secret Lab or something like that, gaming chairs? I don't game. But I did earn points with my grandson. I was like, oh, cool, Nana. But so I bought that. That is the most uncomfortable chair. It's like, how do they sit in this? Maybe they're just so young, that it's not uncomfortable. For me, it's uncomfortable. But you know what? I paid a lot of dang money for it. So, yep. I'm going to love it. But yeah, this sewing chair, I mean, I bought it for that purpose. I bought it from a quilting sewing store. So, yeah. Got plenty of cushion. Oh, where is that? I just lost it. How does this happen? Oh. And I found the one that went flying off. There's that, which works out great for that. But, oh, there it is. Here it is. Jeez Louise. Y'all probably already knew that. Because it turns out some of you do watch. And I surely did when I first started diamond painting. Because I was learning people's techniques and stuff. Because you could tell me all day long, I have to see it. I have to see it. Or else I am not going to be able to understand it. I am very much a visual person. Okay, now, is that all of them? Well, I think so. So now we're down to 2 more ABs. Nope, there's a 2 right there. Right there. Y'all, my memory, long-term memory isn't so bad. But the short-term, I mean, I am seriously like, do I need to get tested for Alzheimer's? Because it's really crept up on me. It's really crept up on me. We went to get those empanadas, right? And I just ordered one because I wasn't hungry. But I wanted to try them. So I ordered one, and I guess, you know, but I was looking at a different one, right? I was like, oh, maybe I should get 2. No. So anyway, we get out to the car, and I'm eating mine. I look over at Max, and I'm thinking, that looks just like that bacon mac and cheese that I wanted to order. So I said, is that your pizza one? And he says, I don't know. Can't tell if there's any pepperonis in it. And I was like, oh. I said, oh, no, you know what? I bet you that's the bacon mac and cheese. So he's like, well, I don't want that. I'm like, you eat it. I said, well, apparently I thought that I wanted to try it, and I actually ordered it. So, you know, go ahead and finish it because I won't be able to eat it. No, I thought that's why I didn't get it, but apparently I did. So he was like, no, I don't want that one. So we get home, and I was like, well, let me take it with me because I do want to take a bite and see if I like it. Took a big old bite and bit into all this pepperoni, and I was like, oh, it was pepperoni. So I'm like, ugh. But that just goes to show you the power of suggestion, because he was like, I don't like mac and cheese, so I don't want it. After he'd already eaten half of it. It's like, well, if you like it, though, you can eat it. No, I didn't like it. Like, okay. So anyway, then I was like, oh, okay. So I thought my memory was bad because I didn't remember ordering it. And now I think my memory's bad because, yeah, I didn't remember that I did not order it. So it's crazy, right? Crazy. I forget so many things. And quickly. I mean, I noticed that too when I'm doing unboxings and stuff. I have to, even though I know who the company is, it's like my brain has to stop and go through its little Rolodex. And I think on one of them, this last unboxing I did for Crystal Canvas Art, I called it Calming Canvas at the beginning. And I kept wanting to do that. And it's like, no, this is not. This is, you know. So I don't know. Maybe expanding my brain power to do YouTube it's doing one of 2 things. It's either helping me get better or it's frying my brain. I don't know. I hope it's not frying my brain because I really do enjoy it. I really, really do. Man, am I like the world's slowest diamond painter? I feel like I am. Even though I multi-place, you know, I feel like I take a lot of time getting the drills just right. But faster than if I were to single place. So, yeah, this putty is, I don't know. Have you tried Joy's putty? What's been your experience? I mean, so many people rave about it. And I'm not saying it's bad. Like I said, I haven't used it enough to make an honest opinion. But I do feel like I'm changing it out more than I do on a lot of my putties. But, it could also be me. I mean, I am a hard placer. So, and I do think that makes a difference. Especially with ABs. But I think it gets, the putty, well, first of all, Yeah, there's a piece of, yeah, I don't know if that's coming out. I am a hard placer, and ABs tend to leave a residue behind in your putty, I think. So, yeah, I don't know. Do you have, you know, putties that you use? I've heard people say they prefer wax. I've heard people say they dip the tip in water. I have not tried that. The first advice I got was to use a plastic tip. And that's really how I got started multi-placing, because the only plastic tip I had were the ones that come with the kits. And prior to that, I used the metal tip. And so I used the plastic tip, you know, just to place singly the ABs. And I was like, oh my gosh, this does work. And then, you know, I started, it's like, well, you know, if I can place one, let me try to place two. And did that. And so then I moved up to 4. And here's some ones I missed. I moved up to the 4 placer. But then when they came out with the thin metal multi-placers, I was like, well, I'm going to try the 6. And the 6 was like easy peasy lemon squeezy. So I was like, okay, let me try the 8. And the 8 is my sweet spot. I did buy I think a 12. But yeah, you know, I was like, I don't really need a 12 that much anyway. So 8's fine. I can't multi-place that many rounds because they don't line up. Squares are much better at lining up. Oh, that's trash. Than rounds, in my opinion. So I don't, you know, even an 8, you have to be careful how you place them, or else you won't be able to get them straight. I don't know why that is either. But it is. Now on the 8 will actually hold 9 square drills. And so I've been known to do that. But for the most part, the 8 placer, the thin metal multi-placer from Diamond Art Club works just great. I love them. I've got several now. I'll add them on, you know, like if I'm trying to buy something and the, you know, excuse me, the total needs something else, or I'm going to have to pay for shipping. I'll throw them in there. I'm like, you know, I'm fine with having a whole bunch. Because then, I mean, if I wanted to, I have a lot of pins. I could just put them in there and have them ready to rock and roll-y. My daughter used to say that. Rock and roll-y. I'll do that. My kids are all grown. My daughter will be 41 in October. I still say rock and roll-y. My youngest is 33, and he would say, I've got so much energy, he'd say, I've got so much energy. No, injury. I've got so much injury. And so that's what I say. He'd also, if he was bleeding, he would come crying, Mama, Mama, I got bleed. So, you know, when I have to give blood, I say, they took my bleed. And then my other son, you know, he called biscuits bicas and tortillas tortitos. So, of course, that's what I call it. My grandson, my eldest grandson, called the movie theater the movie fever. And then we had a hurricane. And I was talking to him. I said, well, how did y'all do? And he was like, our windows are ruined. So I'll say that too. It's ruined. Funny how we just keep on. He called strawberries and blueberries strawbillies and bluebillies. Still call them that. You want some strawberry milk? Still call them that. He just kind of looks at me like, okay. Whatever, Nana. It's like, what? You was so cute then. Now you're just a hairy young adult. Nah, he's still cute. He's a sweet boy. Him's a sweet boy. Still haven't gotten over to see my grandpuppy. I need to go see her. Little Miss Sassy Sadie. Yep. She's a dachshund. A puppy. A tiny little puppy. I mean, she's really small. In fact, she had to stay an extra week with the breeder because the vet was like, nope, she's too small. She was the runt, you know. So, but she's growing some. I'm like, well, let her come stay with me. I can fatten her up. Stay with me long enough, I will fatten you up. That's what I do. Because I think everybody should eat, especially if you're at my house. So, Jacob will tell you that's the truth. So, it's probably why we don't see him as much anymore, because he started going to a personal trainer and, you know, trying to be healthy. And he is noticeably lost weight. He don't eat the food that I like to fix, so. He likes the food, but he tries to steer away from it. Because like the rest of us, we struggle a little bit. Here's some more ones. Now I'm starting to wonder, it's like, are y'all going, we really don't need to see all of it. You can kill it now and that'd be fine. But I really wanted to finish this section, and I honestly didn't think it was going to take this long, to be real honest. So, and I know some of you said that you do like longer videos. I do too. I do too, especially if I'm sitting down to diamond paint. It's like, just keep going, because I can zone out, and I am perfectly happy with that. So, hopefully most of you feel that way too. I hope not, because if you don't feel that way, then you're gonna turn me off really fast. So, oh, I don't like this. I don't know why my putty is not wanting to stick very well. My nose is itching. What is going on? What they say, if your nose itches or someone coming with a hole in their britches. Well, I don't know who that would be. Did y'all ever say that? It would say if you forgot what you were going to say, you were telling a lie, which is not true anymore, because I definitely, like I just said, have a very poor memory. I mean, like the kind that you go, crap. Hope I'm not, you know, I mean, I'll be 61 next week, y'all. 61 on, yeah, next week sometime. On the 2nd of August. So whenever that is, I know it's coming up. So, yeah. I guess everything starts going downhill after that. Maybe I need to try that Prevagen. My gosh, though, have you priced that out? It is expensive. And, you know, it comes in like a 90-day supply. But then it says on there, you should, you know, you need to give it 6 months. I'm like, then why don't you sell it in 6 months supplies? Of course, then everybody would freak out because it's expensive. I was like, man, that's an awful lot of money for a vitamin. And, you know, we don't know if it actually works. So if you've taken it or you know somebody who has taken it and it's working, let me know. I mean, if it's worth the money, let me know. Because something ain't right. I should ask my doctor next time I go. See what she says. But I also think that, you know, there are medications too to slow the progress of Alzheimer's. But see, I don't know, because my mother lived to be 70, was she 72 or 74? I don't remember. She did not have Alzheimer's. I don't believe my biological father did. Now, my sister that I discovered, her mother did, so, but that's no blood relation to me. So, I don't know. My grandmother lived to be 92 and was as sharp as a tack. I mean, they would come in, the doctors and the nurses or whatever, and I would be sitting there, or any of us could be sitting there, and they would come in and start talking to us and totally not looking at her. And she'd be like, I'm over here. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. Because I think they expected people her age. You know, she was one smart cookie. Now, she'd forget some things like names and, you know, but nothing. I mean, she lived independently until she fell and broke her hip when she was 90. And, yeah. So, I mean, she took care of her own banking, you know, she did everything. She didn't drive. She did not drive. She used to drive. She never had a driver's license. I mean, once upon a time, my grandfather didn't have a driver's license either. And I remember we got pulled over once, and just because they had, like, at that time, they were just doing stops on everybody to make sure everybody had a driver's license and whatnot. And he was like, I don't have a driver's license. The police officer was like, why don't you have a driver's license? So he said, I don't think having a driver's license makes you a good driver. I think experience makes you a good driver. And as you can see, I've had a lot of experience. But the police was like, yeah, well, it's still the law. You have to have one. Well, it's a silly law. And, you know, he talked his way out of a ticket. The cop was like, you know, how about you just, you know, go and get a driver's license. My grandfather was like, okay. Yeah, he never did. He was like, nope, a driver's license does not make you a good driver. And he wasn't that good of a driver anyway, so he couldn't have passed a driving test. I mean, he had bad vision. He couldn't drive when it was dark. Yeah. So, but my grandmother quit driving way early on. I mean, I'm guessing about the age that she quit driving was probably the age that I am now, or thereabouts, because she said, I don't remember it. I was in the car, but I was a kid. People started just going, and she didn't even look, and there was a train coming. And it scared her so bad, she was like, Lord, if you let me get home, I will never drive again. And she never did. She never did. And I cannot imagine that. I don't like to drive in town. You know, I don't mind driving on road trips, you know, on the highway. I don't mind that. In fact, I actually prefer, well, I do prefer it. But I don't like driving in traffic, especially if it's someplace I don't really know where I am. And that's pretty much all of Houston. I mean, unless you're in my old stomping grounds. But, you know, I don't go across Houston that often. So I don't really remember things, you know, like, does this lane just suddenly end? And that happens a lot in Houston. You're like, okay, you're bopping along, you're out everybody's way, and it's all good. Oh, this lane ends. Okay, well, I'll get over. You get over, you're bopping along. Okay, all good. Nope, now this lane ends. Well, crap. So you get over, and then all of a sudden, you're, you know, they open up a lane to the right, but now this left lane that you're in because you kept having to get over has to exit to the left. So you're like, I got to get over. And let me tell you something. You can blinker till the cows come home, but you're in Houston. So if you want to get over, blinker and make room for yourself, because no one is going to be, to slow down to let you in. So, if you're waiting for that, you're going to cause a major pileup. So people just aren't that friendly. So you have to just go, well, I'm coming over. You see me. I give plenty of warning with my blinker. You see it. I know you see it. So don't come running up here like I'm not going to let you in, because you are. So yeah, I don't like driving in Houston. I absolutely do not like it. Plus people have gotten crazy. I mean, they have gotten crazy. You got these thugs with guns, and you just look at them funny. And if they even perceive it being road rage, or you cut them off, if they perceive it to be like that, those fools will just open fire and shoot and kill you dead, and wouldn't even care if there's a kid in the car or whatever. And mainly because nothing really happens to them. Nothing really happens to them. It's just, okay, don't do that anymore. Okay, now you go home, think about what you did, and don't do it anymore. Okay. And then they're back out on the streets, and a week later, they've shot somebody else. I'm thinking, a felon is not allowed to own a gun. So, to me, there should be, if you are a convicted felon, especially if your conviction had something to do with a firearm, if you get caught with a gun, that should be automatic, removal of parole or probation or whatever, should automatic. It's removed. That's it, It needs to be a stiffer penalty. It really does. That's why, when I hear about a homeowner, somebody was breaking in and the homeowner shot him, I'm like, good. Maybe that will help, deter somebody. I don't know. But it's like, I think if we start fighting back. I know we had a case of, it's been a few years now. Guy was in the McDonald's parking lot with his son in the back seat. And the dad saw this guy approaching his vehicle, and he could tell he had a gun in his belt. And when he got up there, the dad carried a gun in the glove compartment or the center console. So he got his gun out, and the guy walked up to the window and stuck the gun in there, and the dad was totally prepared and shot him, killed him dead, And I'm like, especially in this area, I think we have the highest, in this county, we have the highest registered guns. And not everybody registers their guns. So we have the highest registered. So you have to assume before you go jacking with somebody that they are locked and loaded and are prepared to use it. And I can't say that I blame them, to be real honest with you. As long as you're a law-abiding citizen and you're defending your home or your person or another person, yeah. I say, well, every job comes with a risk. And if yours is that of a thief or whatever, then that's your risk. You may get shot. So, yeah. We have a Grizzy's Hood News. She's out of Houston, but she covers all the Houston area. And So she posts, different things that's going on in the city. People will send her pictures, and that's a lot of it is just viewers going, hey, this is happening right now. And there have been some wild videos, but one of them was a Ring doorbell camera. It showed this lady wearing a mask because, she thinks she can't be seen or whatever. And she steals a package, gets in the car, and they drive off. And so she was like, she has a section she calls Come On Down. And I'll tell you what, people will identify. And within minutes, somebody was like, oh, that's so-and-so. And posted pictures of her Facebook. And it was like, it is her. Because she wore a mask, but she also had a tattoo on her chest. And yeah, it's like, dude, there's your, you're showing your tits. So yeah, there's your tattoo. And so somebody was like, you shouldn't be blasting her name like that. Someone could hurt her and, and then that would be your fault. And it was like, dude, she went up on someone's porch and stole. So she was putting her own life in danger. It's like, God, people don't have any sense. But I guess she thought, oh, I'll wear this mask. No one will ever know. Well, in addition to your mask, you should wear some clothes. But yeah, there's been some crazy stuff that people caught on video. So it's like, yeah, be careful because you don't want to end up on Grizzy's Hood News. There was a guy with a truck, and he had a nasty saying on the back of his truck. I actually saw him in our area, and I was like, well, that's really crass. You got kids, you got, people that, maybe they don't want to see that. Again, lack of respect for your fellow man. But anyway, he had a very vulgar thing on the back of his truck, and so somebody was like, who is this guy? And blah, some of the women were like, I want to meet him, So you can kind of get an idea of the nasty saying he had on his truck. And, wouldn't you know, somebody came out and they were like, this is this guy. He lives over here, It's like, oh my God. And then he came on Grizzy's Hood News, and he was like, oh, it's so cool that, I guess everybody just, all they care about is attention. That's just some attention I don't want, y'all. Okay. I have completed this section. Now I just have, can y'all see? I just have these two sections to go. And then I will be done. So I plan on getting this done at least this weekend. I do have a lot of stuff I need to do around here. It's going to take me a lot longer than a weekend, but I'm going to get started because I've got to clean this house so my agent can come out on Monday, hopefully on Monday, and, go through it and tell me, do this, don't have to worry about that, and whatnot, before we put it on the, and discuss, comps and whatnot. So, anyway, hopefully that'll get done and my house will get sold and all of that good stuff. So, anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, God bless you. God bless you. It's, yeah. So if you would want to leave an emoji of a house, that would be awesome. You don't have to. I know it can be a hassle to leave a comment of any kind. So if you want to, that would be perfectly fine. I do believe there is a house emoji, and send some good juju our way. And as always, I hope you like the video, and I hope you will subscribe. And remember to ring the notification bell so you can see whenever I post a video. I do have some unboxings to do this weekend. I don't think I'll be doing them today because I'm like, I got to unbox these so I can pack them away. So, but anyway. So thank you again so much. I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye, everybody.